Hey, and welcome to another update of real-time editing of issue descriptions. This week, with not so good news because there's a change of plans and an update on how the why Ruby multi-platform efforts are going. Why do I say like change of plans? I was about to ship the awareness feature to the sidebar like a couple of weeks ago, until I realized, or actually not realized until it was pointed out to me that there's a whole team working on making the sidebar less cluttered and improve the UX there. And the team was really hesitant to ship another thing to the sidebar before their work is done. So after a bit forth and back, we came to the conclusion it's not feasible to ship the awareness feature as it is to the sidebar today. And therefore, we need to find another way to build it, because the awareness feature is a prerequisite for real-time collaboration. There is another project and another team working on what I call the work item stream, the work item work stream. It's probably not called like that, but this is just the way I interpret it. And they have a very interesting UX principle, and I want to elaborate it here. It's collaborating in real time, and this is exactly what I'm working on. So there's like a lot of synergy between this team and the work that I am doing. And I want to thank Gabe Weber for this opportunity. And the plan now is to just integrate it with the work item view that eventually replaces the issue view as it is today. This should make my life much easier, because it's more like a greenfield environment, and there's not so many dependencies, and it's probably a bit easier to just work with this team as they're building this user interface. So things that are going well are the efforts of getting YRuby into getting multi-platform releases for YRuby. Since I started to work on the YRuby gem, there was always this thought about how can we make sure that this gem that is like a native extension with a technology that we are not super experienced with, how can we make sure that it does not cause any troubles to our customers? And one step, and I talked about this in the previous update, was to migrate from Ruti to Magnus as our Ruby Rust binding library. And the next step is to actually ship multi-platform gems. If you're familiar with Rails, you probably have seen, or you're probably aware of a gem called Nokogiri. And this gem was somewhat infamous for breaking install routines on developer machines, because the developers did not have the necessary tooling available in order to build a native extension. And Nokogiri and the team behind it solved this in a really nice way. So nowadays it's possible to ship multiple gems for a specific platform on Ruby gems. And this is exactly what we need for YRuby as well. So yesterday I did a first release for x64 Linux and ARM64 Darwin, x64 Darwin on rubygems.org. So with your M1 Mac, with your probably a bit older x64 Mac, and on a regular Linux machine, you should be able to use YRuby with a gem install YRuby and the specific version. And there should be no compilation step. Like, it should just work out of the box. A few more platforms need to follow. In particular, I had issues to get this running on Alpine containers, which are also quite popular. There is, and this is also a shout out to the community around the Ruby Rust ecosystem, there's a lot of help from those folks to make this work. And it turns out that I might be able to get the Alpine Linux to work nicely together with the gem as well, but it's a bit of an additional work. And yeah, then eventually we will have these lines just working. Okay, this is the update for this week, and see you next time. Bye-bye.